Hello, everybody. Everything that I'm about to say in this is based on my opinion, perspective, and understanding of the facts. I do not encourage anybody to abuse um, the law enforcement resources, to harass YouTubers or anybody else of any kind. I don't want that to happen. I think that if you are aware of dangers happening, and that's an avenue you want to go, I can't stop you from that, but I am not here to encourage that or harassment at all. I do call out Colleen Ballinger in a very verbally assertive and aggressive manner. Luckily, the first reaction video got lost when my computer had an issue with it. It was it was better off, but I also had the common sense that I would have re-recorded it because there were some things in it I should not have included that were not vital to the discussion. Now, that said, this is not really a reaction video, sort of like the raw reaction that I had to her I think around one of her Christmas videos that I did a few days ago or a week ago or something like that. This is sort of commenting on the first 5 to 6 minutes of the New Year video because there were a lot of telling things about it. And I'm foreshadowing here. And there's some things that sort of concern me about the future. And I believe that her projected happiness and hope, it's entirely theatrical. I will explain why. Now, a content warning. The things that I describe in this are based on actions that Colleen Ballinger has done to victims, minors, and impressionable young adults. I talk about mental health issues, suicidality, grifting, grooming, and dangerous manipulation. And I want you to be advised of that. I have included links for you to contact places if you need help right away or you want resources to learn more about what's going on. I think it's very important that you have a full range of those resources at your hand to make reference to in case you're going through something or you need help or understanding what's going on has been triggering for you, whatever is the case, okay? So with that, I start the video. Thank you.
Excuse my appearance. This is probably not the best choice to go into a brand new year.
That's interesting that is the first thing she remarks on in the new year is how she looks to everybody. I'm not surprised. She has a very unfortunate, unhealthy view of how she appears, both appearance wise and how she behaves, which is quite interesting considering that she really didn't think about that when she made disgusting comments in her videos toward children, about children, and making her disgusting content to begin with. None of that really factored into her sensitivity around her appearance, but it seems like there is this disconnect in her mind, and I'm not sure why.
Looking like I do. But I wanted to post a video for you guys. I didn't want to leave you hanging, and probably going to take me a minute.
It was better you didn't come back to YouTube and that you took all this time to get intensive therapy for your issues instead of attention seeking, because this isn't the way to do it.
Minute to edit like a full full-blown vlog because I've just been trying to take it easy. I haven't been like fully vlogging every day recently.
Well, it's probably because you're getting a lot of criticism, as you should. You're getting a lot of blowback for your inappropriate presence on this platform. You do not seem to understand that your presence on the platform is inappropriate, given that there are minors and impressionable young adults who still follow you. They still follow you, and your every words and your lack of boundaries and respect for them is apparent in the way that you criticize your appearance, the way that you criticize other people's appearances, the way that you talk about things that where you put the burden of your stress on them, where you use them as your emotional crutch, like you have done with minors and impressionable young adults, especially those who are more vulnerable and who have already been rejected by their society or friends because they appear to be different. You banked on those vulnerabilities to help build you up.
I've just been enjoying my family, and
I doubt you've been enjoying your family, because even when your first video back, all you talked about is how much you miss the attention from doing your vlogs. Now, you didn't come right out and say that, but that was your first thing. Yeah, I'm with my family, whatever. I got time to spend with my kids, blah, blah, blah. But I really miss vlogging. You miss attention. You are an attention vampire. You suck the life out of people with your constant self-entitled victimhood complex that you embed in every video. It's all about you. It has nothing to do about your family. This has nothing to do about taking accountability for what you have done to your victims. It doesn't have anything to do with about how you are taking care of yourself.
going through some weird like health type things, just lady problems.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. And that isn't the reason why you have been inappropriate for the last 15 years. You have refused to take accountability for your Miranda stuff, for your stuff that you have done toward your victims, for exposing your victims to pornography and very inappropriate and sexualized things that you have done to them on stage, that you've put minors at risk of being assaulted by adults outside of the theater. And I think you were quite aware of that and didn't care, as long as you did your show and that was it. This is what makes you dangerous, in my opinion.
And nothing to be concerned about. I'm totally fine, but I've just needed to like take a minute. So that's what I've been doing. But I didn't want to.
You should have taken your shit off the air permanently. Not your life, not your well-being or anything, but your presence here is inappropriate. You re-traumatize your victims. You do all of these things. This is your attempt to discredit them. This is your attempt to detract people who are criticizing you and who are not letting this go. We are not letting this go. A lot of us are victims ourselves, okay? Maybe not of you, but we are victims of ourselves. Not of ourselves. We're victims ourselves. And we can see a predator a mile away. All right, and we know the whole thing that they do to try to discredit us, what our perpetrators have done to us, what the people who did these things to us. We can see that in your behavior. It's not all projection, because it's not all about us, because we also realize that the victims are also They are the most important thing in here. Um, I don't know why you just didn't take the time off to get the serious, intensive mental health that you needed.
Leave y'all empty-handed because I'm sure so many of you were just desperate to see my face.
Nobody really wants to see your face. I don't. I think you're present. And when I say that, it's not, I don't think that you're unattractive or anything like that. I do think that you are an ugly human being from inside. I think you've made a decision to harm people rather than to help people. I don't know why, but that is the way that you chose to deal with things. And that is entirely up to you. And you wonder why none of us want to see you on this platform.
Beginning of 2024. Like, here it is in all its glory. But
Nobody cares.
wanted to just say hello and show you a few clips that I have filmed over the past few days. Just cute little moments.
There isn't anything cute about it. All you do is you expose your children to dangers because you yourself are a predator. You yourself have put children in danger. And you know what it's like out here. And I'm sure you've been in connection with other people who have done things similarly, don't care about kids or anything like that. I don't have any direct proof of that, but given it that it's YouTube, you have connected to other controversial figures. You've also involved more prominent more prominent figures who have been your victim. They may not realize it, they may not determine that they are, but the way that you have treated JoJo Siwa, for instance, your inappropriate behavior around her doesn't go overlooked. Trust me. Trust me. And what you did to people like Adam McIntyre, and other victims, I'm sure, are coming out. Some are coming out, and maybe they don't realize it now, but they're going to. They're going to, because grooming isn't something that just happens out of it. People don't come to realizations about it very quickly. It takes a lot of time, and people are going to come to that realization, and they're going to come for you, and I hope that they do, and come for you meaning that they're going to tell their own experiences around you.
So that I'm going to start vlogging again probably pretty soon. I
don't really think that you should. You have victims on here who can't even, not all of your victims feel safe enough to talk about their experiences without being harassed. Okay, even Adam McIntyre, as vocal as he is, and he has a strong enough platform, and he does have seeming a lot of support, but not a lot of your victims have that, okay? And Adam McIntyre, I'm sure, is still going through a lot of shit because of you, and he's still trying to process things and break things down in the enormity of your abuse of him and others who you utilized to forward yourself. You are a disgusting bitch.
don't think I'm going to be vlogging every day like I always have. It's just a bit too much, and there's other things that I really want to do in 2024. And
well, is things like taking accountability and getting intensive therapy your main goals? I hope so.
So I'm going to need to divide my energy between vlogging and sharing my life with you guys, and also trying to...
We don't want you to share your life. You have done fuck all to respect the lives of others. You put minors in danger. You yourself should know. I am almost certain that something had happened to you. Something went on. Something went wrong. And that you yourself as a victim, not as a victim of people criticizing you, but whatever had happened to you. See, I don't want to victim blame here. Colleen, you know better. You know better. And how dare you even come on here and talk about your goals? about this. You're just attention seeking. This is all about your attention seeking. No amount of deflection, no amount of victim blaming. Nobody is targeting you because you exist. Your behavior itself is disgusting, and you have yet to take responsibility for that.
Do some other new things, but I can't believe it's 2024. Holy smokes. Goodbye, 2023.
Goodbye, 2023. Listen, I don't believe in this New Year's stuff. New Year's stuff, doesn't matter how you say it. I don't believe in it. I don't think that 1 year washes by and you get to start anew. Sometimes some people feel that way. But you can't do that to your victims, Colleen. You just cannot do that. You don't get to wash away the year and say, oh, what a year. You did all of that to yourself. You hurt people, numerous people. People have confronted you about that, and you have treated that as if they were doing something to you. Like, how dare they encroach upon your empire in your mind and start forcing you to have a self-reckoning. There is nothing that you can do to stop our voices. Nothing. Absolutely fuck all. You don't get to start the new year over. You have been doing this terrible, disgusting shit for years. It's, life is on a continuum. If you keep avoiding things, it keeps building up. It keeps hidden. At some point, it comes out. Okay, there isn't anything special about a particular year when it happens. Okay. I make reference to 1 year as being particularly special in recent years. I mean, of course, the birth of my children were always special to me, but because they happened to be born in that year. But there was one particular other year that was personally beneficial for myself where things fell into place because I had been working on those things. All right? There wasn't anything special about that year. Colleen, you have been subjugating minors to abuse and to inappropriate behavior for years. You don't get to say because 2023 you got your reckoning that you can just wash it all away. Your shit follows you. And to me, this is a way for you to victim blame again, to put aside those things that you consider trivial so that you can survive being the attention-seeking bitch that you've always been. That is disgusting and abhorrent.
Oh my god. I'm not going to get too into it. This video is not supposed to be like a recap of my year.
No, because you don't want to take responsibility or accountability for anything that you've done the last 15 years that you have been in social media. Social media. We're going to get to that soon.
Whatever, but I think it's safe to say that 2023 was the worst year of my life.
You did that to yourself, girlfriend. That was entirely on you. Your fucking stupid ukulele video, your disgusting victim blaming, your disgusting dodging of accountability, all the little things that you do to put it back on the victims. And it gets worse. And oh my God, it gets worse in this introduction.
But I am so grateful for so many things in 2023, and that's what I want to focus on. Again,
what could you possibly be grateful for? You have never been really grateful for anything. That's just a way for you, just a talking point, so that you can ease your way back into a platform in which you do not belong. You are a danger to segments, to communities on this platform. The fact that YouTube allows predators like this, but then bans people who speak out against predators, is really telling of the type of shitbox platform this has really become. And I don't care what YouTube does to me at this point. And secondly, okay, you the fact that you still have advertisers advertising for you. Every advertiser I've seen on one of your videos, when I'm about to do it, I have written them down, and every single one of them I've been contacting and will continue to contact that I think are relevant. And I'm going to say, I saw this on your video, and I don't think that this is a good way to advertise, considering what she has done to victims. I don't care. I don't care. I have a right to say that. I have a right to speak up, because you are a danger to this platform. And I hope that they reconsider advertising through Google Sense on this, because YouTube doesn't give a fuck that you as a predator still exists on here. People have spoken out. There's a problem. There is a big problem here. You are the center of that. You are the reason for that. I'm not saying you're the reason that you came out this way necessarily, but you are the reason for other people's problems on this platform. I'm not going to let this go.
And this is not a year recap video. This is literally just a vlog saying, hello, welcome to 2024, and here's some cute clips from the last few days. But it feels weird for my first video of 2024 to not mention anything about it being a new year and last year and all that stuff. So
you just did. You just said get rid of fucking 2023 because you don't want to deal, in my opinion, you don't want to deal with the criticisms. You don't want to deal with what you have done to people. This has been the year where you were exposed for being a dirty, filthy bitch, and you don't want to deal with it. That's not our problem. And you do want to start over. You do want to make this year the year that you hide everything and try to start. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way.
So I want to go into 2024 with positive energy and motivated.
This is all bullshit, nonsense talk right here. There's no way that Colleen Ballinger is going to start this with positive energy. How is she doing that? She sounds like a fucking cult leader. How is she doing that when she hasn't taken accountability or hasn't come clean or been transparent about her charities, about her fundraisers, okay, about the stuff that she did to minors throughout her entire career on YouTube and outside of that, and touring and stuff, the stuff that she had done to impressionable minors, the vulnerable positions in which she put these people, the way that she manipulates her current fan base, the way that she does say that she doesn't want her audience to reach out to people. She doesn't say that in her video. She has a little disclaimer. Even one or two of her fans have come and contacted me. They were not abusive. They were not threatening or anything like that, at least overtly or outwardly. I did address those things, but I don't have people in mass trying to come after me or anything at this point. Okay. But it has happened to her victims, horribly. And she's done nothing to verbally address that. Okay. There's nothing positive about Colleen's reentry into YouTube. She should not be allowed to be on YouTube, and she should not be monetized, in my opinion, because she is a disgusting, filthy fucking predator who refuses to take responsibility, and she puts the burden of her issues back onto her victims, back onto her fans and the community. She's an attention-seeking bitch. I can't stand this woman.
Inspire spirit, and
you can't inspire a fucking fly, and even a fly has a purpose. What's your fucking purpose on YouTube here? Find your purpose in life by getting yourself the help you so desperately need. Find purpose in taking accountability for what you have done to your victims, for what you've done to your community, to this community. Start being a grown up. You're almost 40 years old and you're behaving like a fucking child. And I shouldn't even say behaving like a child. That's disrespectful to children. You're behaving, you know what? You're deliberately infantilizing yourself, okay? So that you don't have to take responsibility. I'm not going to put the burden back on children. It was children you abused through your disgusting behavior, your dirty Miranda shows, using them to further your career, using them to run your favors because you knew that they would look up to you, and especially targeted communities, because you knew in the back of your mind that people weren't really supporting them because you are a dirty, filthy bitch.
I want to welcome positivity and kindness. And
there is nothing that you do that inspires it. Not a fucking thing. It won't happen because you still have undealt with business to do. You have not done anything outwardly to do that. You may not be obligated to do that. And maybe no one is obligating you to do that. But in my opinion, you should be at least ethically and morally obligated to do so.
Give positivity and kindness. And in 2024, I want to focus on listening more.
Oh, really? So why aren't you listening to your victims, twit? Why aren't you listening to them? You take it as an assault on your person and your own. You hurt people and you haven't taken accountability. So who the hell are you to come on here and say, oh yeah, I'm here to take responsibility. I'm here to start anew and start. Don't pull that guru fucking cult bullshit, new age bullshit on us. Fuck you, Colleen.
Being more present in the moment, dwelling on things that I have control over. And
you have control over being your behavior. You know better. You should go to therapy. Be intensively in therapy. Get the fuck off of YouTube. Get away from your victims. Get away from these things. Take accountability for what you have done to your victims, but stop bringing this stuff forward and hurting people and triggering people. You're a fucking liar. We all see it. We all know it.
Not the things that I do not. I want to focus on creativity and
you are not a creative person. Maybe you're a creative liar.
Passions and things that make me and my children happy.
Yes, because it's all about you. But what about all the creativity that you have exploited from people? What about their futures you have destroyed? What about the insecurities that you pound on your kids every day, your own insecurities? What about the insecurity that you inspired by lying, by abandoning your underage victims, by manipulating them, lying to them, exposing them to pornography? Okay, pornography that you used to victimize the person who produced that pornography, to victimize your minors because you think it's a fucking joke. You inspire nothing. You ruin people's lives. You ruin their creativity because you have none yourself.
I don't have any New Year's resolutions. These aren't things that I wrote down in a journal. These are just things I'm word vomiting out onto the internet.
Yes, word vomiting. That's all this is. That's, if anything is true, that is true. This is all this bullshit you're talking about being positive and doing all this. It's word vomit. That's exactly the right term to use. That is the only piece of truth of this in this video.
Right now, but things that I know that are important to me. And yes, 2023 was not my favorite year I've ever lived.
Not your favorite year? You sound like a fucking idiot. All those rocks in your head? Give me a fucking break. 2023 not being your favorite year because people held you accountable. That should have been a pivotal year for you. That should have been a year where you would have actually taken responsibility for yourself, and you didn't.
But I'm grateful for 2023 because I feel like I grew and learned more.
You didn't do any such thing. These are just stupid talking points that you grabbed from nonsense. You have not grown as a person. You've grown more angry. You probably have grown more contempt for your victims, for people on this platform who have spoken out against you. But you have not grown as a person. Not at all. Not since you've not taken responsibility. You're still being enabled. You're still finding people who will yes ma'am you every single way. That's not growing. Stop lying to your fans.
In the year 2023 than I ever have in any year of my whole life.
Well, it's because it was tried in 2020. Some of us were late to the game. Some of us didn't really pay attention. Okay, and you try to brush this under the rug even after 2020. And people have been calling you out long before that. For years, Colleen, for years.
I learned a lot about being a mom. I learned a lot about the internet.
Okay. Being a mom. If you were learning about being a mom, you would keep your kids off of the internet and away from people like you. I don't know how safe they are in many ways, but I don't have any proof. I'm not encouraging anybody to call, to do anything like that because I have no proof whatsoever. But given how you've treated other people's kids and seeing how you exploit your kids on here, I don't know what else to say about that other than what I just said. And the internet, honey, you've benefited from the internet. You made millions from the internet being a disgusting bitch. You have ruined people's lives making your millions on the internet, being part of the media.
I learned a lot about myself and qualities that I don't like about myself.
Oh yeah, what are those qualities? That you're a groomer, that you're a predator, that you're a liar, that you hate people, you resent people who don't look like you, don't resemble you, that you're a racist, that you're a sexist, that you're anti-LGBTQIA, that you're a classist bitch.
I learned things about myself that I do love. I've learned that it's better that I'm here on this earth than not. Great.
There it is. There it is. Nobody with a reasonable mind wants you dead, Colleen. Nobody. Colleen, personally, I don't want you to permanently cancel yourself. I think you have a right to get mental health care. I think if you are feeling that desperate, you need to phone 988. You need to get some help. Serious intensive therapy. What I don't appreciate you doing is using suicidality as a means to manipulate your audience. Your audience has minors in it. For you to put that burden of your own life or death choices, okay, on them, it's inappropriate and it's the height of disgusting manipulation. You're using that so that we can stop talking about our criticisms of you. You're saying that so that you can fuel your fandom, so that they can go after your critics even more, to feel sorry for you. You did this to yourself. You essentially victimized yourself in all of this. Okay? You did this to yourself. You brought yourself to this point. And the fact that you would use suicide as a way to get out of it or to even talk about it to deflect people's concerns about your behavior and use that is dangerous. It is very dangerous. It's glad that you're grateful that you're alive, that you recognize that you have some value in your life. I'm in agreement with, okay? As much as I loathe you and think you're a disgusting creature, or I know you're a disgusting creature, I am glad that you are continuing your life. However, you don't get to use that to manipulate and malign your victims. You don't get to use that to manipulate your fans. You don't get to use that as a way to get out of a bad situation by even talking about it. That is manipulation at its worst. You are not the victim here. You might be a victim of yourself, but in this situation, how you've interacted with others, you are not the victim. Not once. How dare you use the suffering of others to forward yourself? How dare you? A lot of us go through that, are going through that desperation. A lot of us are. I might be in a little bit better position because I'm already in intensive therapy. I don't use my survivorship as a shield to um, prove that I'm better than anybody else or get out of anything. Okay? This could have been a perfect opportunity for you to help people. Again, it's about you and it's about manipulating your audience. This is something that you need to address with your treatment team and not in front of impressionable adults or victims, or to use it as a means to stop your criticizers. Disgusting.
Grateful and proud of myself.
You shouldn't be proud of yourself. You shouldn't be. You should be ashamed of what you have done. But you should also get help. You should also find a way to hold yourself accountable for the bad behavior that you have displayed in front of minors and vulnerable people.
For being here and for doing the fundraiser. And
oh, so you're grateful to be alive because you got to do the fundraiser to grift people? Is that what you were fucking looking forward to? Let's get into the fundraiser. Show the receipts. Show the receipts. And when are you going to donate the money from all your past fundraisers that have been closed? At this point, excuse me. Why is it that you've donated so little already? Where's the rest of that money? Why aren't you donating that? You're supposed to be giving that to the hospitals or to the beneficiaries of that money. You took your fans' monies so that you can donate to these places. You did this fun. You do these fundraisers and these entertainment hour or 2-hour entertainment blocks to do this. You took their money so that you can have it for yourself. So you're grateful that you're alive so you could do the fundraiser? Are you fucking serious? Do you hear yourself speak?
being the best mom that I could possibly be.
If you were the best mom you possibly could be, you would stop putting your children on the internet. You would stop displaying them and marking every hour of their lives. You would start holding yourself accountable for your bad behavior and for what you did to other people's children. That's what you should be doing. That is what you should be doing. That's how you can live by example. But you put too much of your anxiety and your need to hang on to them on them. The source of your revenue is because of your children at this point, because you can't even self-sustain because the monster you created can't make you any more money. You use your kids to forward yourselves much in the same way that you used other people to get to where you are.
I learned a lot about trust friendships. And
you don't know anything about trust. You don't trust anybody. Okay, you haven't earned the trust of others. You broke the trust of others. You did that with your disgusting grooming behavior, among other things. You took people's money that they donated for a cause. You betrayed the children who are sick. You have said terrible things, according to experiences and to what people have said. That you've criticized sick children. You've always been an ableist bitch.
and the media. And
You are the media. What the fuck are you talking about? You are the media. You're part of that. You use the media to smear your victims. That's what you did. The media is reporting on your behavior. And you enlisted the help of the media to help defend your fucking miserable self. Don't pull that shit. Don't pull that shit. We know what train this goes. We know what track this goes down. I know what's going to come up next in the next coming videos, and especially around this election year.
and I'm probably never going to believe anything I read or hear.
Well, technically, you shouldn't be, but you're part of that manipulation. You're part of that dishonesty. You fostered that kind of community on YouTube, which is part of the media. Are you fucking kidding me?
In media for the rest of my life.
Oh, stop being. You're such a fucking disgusting liar.
I learned so much about rocks, and I found a new.
Yes, because rocks are a symbol of resilience. Rocks are a symbol of protection. Colleen, you don't know anything about rocks. You don't give a shit about rocks. You wouldn't be picking them off of the California shore. We already are in the middle of a climate crisis and a planet crisis, and you just keep contributing to it every fucking day that you help to erode that beach by stealing rocks off that fucking beach of yours. Come on. I don't care how much you're allowed or not allowed. I don't even take rocks off of a beach. You have no understanding of the value of this planet, the value of life, especially where it comes to other people's lives. You have no concept of anything. You are not a rock. Okay, your resilience sucks. That's sad, but it does. And you would use that to avoid taking responsibility for yourself. I mean, it's the whole thing is absolutely unconscionable.
Passion when I never knew that I had deep inside of me, when I probably never would have found if I hadn't gone through hard things.
Rocks, hard things, and billions of years of evolution and the evolutionary process that rocks have survived. She's on a fucking rock that she doesn't have any reverence for. She doesn't care about life. She doesn't care about other people's lives. She doesn't care about, so sad, she doesn't care about life at all. This whole fucking thing is so awful.
I love rocks and crystals and tumbling. I've always my whole life said, I don't meditate. I don't understand meditation. Meditation's not for me. Therapists have tried to get me to learn how to meditate, and I just.
When are your therapists actually going to help you, Colleen? When are you actually going to start facing yourself? If my therapist excused my behavior or my borderline outbursts and stuff like that, okay, where would I be? Where would I be if they didn't set their boundaries? Your therapist, I don't know what's going on with your therapist, your therapy. I'm not privy to that. That is a personal thing between you and them. But I don't believe that you're even in therapy at this point. You've done fuck all to demonstrate anything in taking care of yourself. Not you haven't held yourself accountable. toward your victims nothing. I mean, it's hard because it takes years and years and years of therapy to deal with things. For my own challenges, it took me years. Now, I am not what Colleen Ballinger is, but still, it took me years to take accountability for my own actions because I was so defensive about it. Because I thought it was an assault on me and it was just distorted thinking. And then I realized like how relating to people is very important. How my actions affect other people. And it takes a long time. And that's why I'm in intensive therapy, because I have a lot of things to work on. It's my trauma, but it's also how I interact with others. But it takes a long time to work through that, Colleen. There's no I don't know if we have a right to see that progress, but you have done nothing to take accountability for anything that you have done. Just saying that you have and wishing it would go away and wishing the new year would wash it away does not demonstrate a healthy mind in my layman's perspective.
Couldn't figure it out, and I really feel like rocks. And rock hunting and rock tumbling is my form of meditation. It's something where when I'm doing it, I don't think about anything else. My mind feels clear. I feel calm. I feel grounded. Why am I crying about rocks? I feel one with like.
You're not crying about rocks. You're crying because people have had enough of your shit and have criticized you for that. Victims have spoken out against you. People have spoken out against your disgusting behavior. No amount of rock talk is going to get through that. Or taco talk, or whatever the hell you call it. It doesn't matter. We see right through it. We see right through it. You have no reverence for the planet. And again, that is just. I'm angry about that, but it makes me sad at the same time. I'm not manipulated by Colleen. I'm not manipulated by you, Colleen. I see right through you. So to speak. I can see the behavior. Okay? I can see the behavior patterns. There's so much more going on here. I just don't have enough time to talk about it. I don't know if I really want to get into it. But there's some danger signs here. There's some serious danger signs here. And the red flags. There's a lot of weird preaching going on in here.
The earth, and I feel gratitude.
You're not grateful for anything, Colleen. You don't care about the earth. You don't care about its inhabitants. You don't care about destroying it to further yourself. That's the problem, and that's what you need to work on and take accountability for.
For being here, and I just find beauty and metaphors in rocks and in crystals.
Yes, and you're using that to describe yourself, and you're not any of those things at this point. You have taken that stability and resilience away from people. Now, I would say Adam McIntyre has that. Resilience, to me, is also overrated because there's an assumption with resilience that you have to get over something quickly. And I have a conflict with the whole thing about resiliency. I just think it's a fluffy word it's a fluffy word to use to further ableism or even eco-ableism. And I think that Colleen's use of the word earth, and I understand the need to be grounded, and maybe my perception of the world is darker. And what I mean by that is that it's a hard life. It really is a hard life. Sometimes we make it harder for ourselves. Sometimes it's the systems in place make it more difficult. Um, and but resilience is one of those new age or one of those fluffy words that privileged people talk about. Now, she may not come out and say that, but rocks are a metaphor of that. So it's interesting that she would say that. But she isn't a rock. She might have rocks in her head because all the nonsense she talks about. None of this stuff makes sense, but it also tells a story. But she's not any of those things. She clings on those things because they're inanimate objects. Yes, they are vital to the survival of our planet. We are living on a rock essentially. Okay? In different layers, forms, all those things. I don't think she understands that. I don't think she values that, to be quite personally. I don't think she values life in general. And that's sad. It's sad to be in that position, to not value anything, and to sort of be the facilitator of pain and suffering. What a fucking abysmal life that is. What an abysmal life that is. And her not taking responsibility for that. Her prognosis may not be that good. I think people have to stop enabling her. If you really care about her, you have to stop enabling her. Because this is going down a very bad path. A very bad path. And she has not in any way considered that for her own victims, for the people around her, and audience members and people in the media. I don't know what else to say about that.
And I'm so grateful for rocks and for Taylor Swift. I made new friends and deepened relationships with friends.
I don't see how your Taylor Swift obsession is going to win over anybody. You are antithetical. You are antithetical to what Taylor Swift stands for in terms of independence and taking self-control. Taylor Swift has encouraged young people to vote. Now, there's a lot of ageism in voting and in politics, of course. I mean, older women are generally looked at as certain ways, but younger people, especially, are disenchanted or not encouraged to take part in the system. Now, this isn't a political thing. I'm just saying that Taylor Swift has encouraged people to be more independent and encourage people to represent themselves in a positive way, in a way that means independence and not dependence on, say, her per se. You, on the other hand, encourage people to sort of be your pillar to hold you up financially, socially, and emotionally. You do that not only to your fans, but you've done it to your victims, even when they were once your fans. You do it to your kids. You do it on the media. You use the media for that benefit. You are nothing like Taylor Swift. As far as your friendships are concerned, yeah, you're going to need some friends, but hopefully they're putting you in your place. I wouldn't want to be friends with you. You are dangerous. You are dangerous. And if you're talking about friends by gaining more subscribers and people who enable you, who just totally believe you and don't understand all the facts, those people are not your friends, Colleen. And I hope those fans understand that Colleen Ballinger is not a friend of you either.
Friends and learned who really loves me and cares.
It's all about who loves you and cares about you. Where is your love and your care for the people who help build you up? Where's your love and your care or your compassion for the people that you victimized, for the people you lie to and grift from a daily basis? Where is your compassion there? I'm not saying you have, listen, there are people who maybe not have that emotional empathy, but they have enough cognitive empathy not to do the kind of shit that you're doing. So I'm not going to throw the empathy term, although it would behoove you to get some cognitive empathy at least, to work on that or to figure it out, or to at least have some level of compassion or some understanding. Only that you can get through intensive therapy by connecting your behavior to what's going on now.
It's about me, and oh my god, I'm so grateful for those people and that they exist. The thing I'm most grateful for in all of 2023 was that I got to spend time and get to know three most incredible human beings on the.
Yes, again, using your children as a shield against criticism. And again, you're doing it now in 2024. Nothing changes with you, Colleen. It's different year, same bullshit.
I'm so grateful for my three perfect kids.
Perfect. 3 perfect kids. A lot of parents might feel that way. Okay? I will tell you how dangerous it is to make that reference. I will tell you how dangerous it is that you use your kids as an emotional crutch, that you use them as a presentation, just as an extension of yourself, Colleen. That you put the burden on your own children to hold you up through hard times. Kids aren't supposed to be used, and especially in that way. You're setting them up for high expectations. You're putting them on a pedestal. Okay? Now, somebody with emotional dysregulation or dysfunction will do that. You don't really see the people your kids are and what they need. I believe you use them as a crutch to help you get through this. That you expect them to be the lifeline source when you should see yourself in that way. You should be dependent on yourself to do the right thing, to make yourself in this world, to make a name for yourself in this world. But you have depended on used and maligned people to get to where you are. When you come to that realization, it's horrifying. I don't say you should dwell into self-hate, because I think self-hate also is a motivator in all this. I'm not a professional.
And getting to spend time with them and getting to know them and watch their personalities blossom and grow and change.
How do you do that with a camera in front of them? It's good to take some memories and keep them for yourself and look back on them. But you have transitioned, it seems, from Miranda to now using your kids for your new vlog. Because if it were just by you, you wouldn't be interesting. People are weirdly obsessed with your kids, Colleen, and you know that.
And see the world through their eyes. Those kids have saved my life.
It's not their responsibility to save your life. You are responsible for saving your own life. You are responsible for that, not your kids.
Over and over and over again.
What a fucking burden on them. What a fucking burden on them. You are destroying them because they're not going to have an identity, because their identity will be attached to helping their mother through their problems, through her problems. You do not have any boundaries even when it comes to your own kids with your emotional abuse. It's unbelievable.
I'm just so grateful for them. I can't believe I get to be their mom. I feel so lucky. But oh my.
If you felt lucky, you wouldn't burden them so much. You are their mother. You are not their friend. You are not their child.
God, I can't even help myself when I turn on the camera. I'm like, this isn't a recap video. I'm just saying hi, and then I'm going to show you some clips. I literally go.
You need to help yourself. You need to stop doing it as much. You have so much to be accountable for. That should be your priority. Your priority should be getting parenting assistance or help, getting therapy for yourself so you can gain control of your senses, so you gain control over yourself and stop making everybody else responsible for how you feel about yourself.
Okay, anyway, what I'm trying to say is that there can be beauty in hard times, darkest days I've ever.
You have done this all yourself. Now, if you're talking about your own trauma, I agree. But if you're talking about the last year, without any means of taking accountability for what you have done to others, it doesn't mean anything. It's just a load of shit.
Ever seen in my life. We're in 2023.
You did that to yourself.
And I would not have seen so many beautiful things without those dark times.
I sincerely believe that you don't see anything beautiful about this world. You have a focus point and a distraction away from the trouble that you have caused, indeed. And that's too bad, because your love of rocks could mean that you go back to school and study oceanography or be a climate change activist or use your privilege to actually do some meaningful things in this world. But you can't get past your need for constant attention and adoration. And that is the most fucking depressing thing apart from, of course, next to not taking responsibility for what you have done to minors and impressionable young adults on this platform.
So I'm grateful for all of it. I don't know. I need to stop rambling. I just wanted to say that I'm grateful for a lot of things.
No, you're not. You're just fucking lying again.
In the last year, even though it was a hard one. And
you did that to yourself, and you keep repeating it because you hope that your fans will come to your defense when anybody speaks out against you. Stop fucking manipulating, Colleen. Thank you for listening to this video. I realize it is very difficult. I do want to state that I do have grave concerns over this new generation of fans she has, what she is doing. And I have some grave concerns about YouTube's lack of intervention in this, lack of care, lack of response. Now, YouTube's allowed me to say what I want to say. Of course, I'm not monetized. It is unlikely I will be monetized. Maybe down the road with something else, but certainly not with the stuff that I talk about. I'm not even near being eligible for it and then going through the process of it. I prefer to speak freely and honestly from my heart without worrying about what Google AdSense thinks. And Google AdSense is also, of course, the biggest problem here with continuously supplying that opportunity for Colleen Ballinger to make money through it. And every advertiser that I have come across, I've made a note of it. Now, I don't watch every single one of her videos. I really don't want to give her the clicks and views, but from the stuff that I have done to react to it, to see it, I have made a notation of all the ads that I saw in it and those advertisers. Some I have contacted, some I will contact, and I will continue to do that to address my concerns that their ads are shown on a YouTuber with a very complicated past and for the things that are going on and what it represents in a way that I have a right as a consumer to say without lying or misrepresentation or abusing that ability to do it, because it is very tiring. Now, not everything that I see on that are things that I would use, but if it's something that I would consider using, I'm not going to. I'm not going to do that. It's my choice, my right. But I'm getting sick and tired of people like this getting away with stuff. And the only way to solve it is this way, because even speaking out against it, none of us should stop from speaking out against this. But if advertisers refuse to have any part of her, then that's the only way really to stop it. I mean, what else would she have left to do at this point? She's absolutely abhorrent on all levels. Absolutely a bad example of an adult. And that's all I have to say at this point. Until next time, thanks for listening.